All right, now we getting started. Now this party is getting started. All right. All right, give me one moment. All right, finally live, finally live. All right. Sorry for the interruption. All right, so you know how it is with technology, but the show always must go on. All right. So, here, well, thank you for being here. And today we're going to talk about how to break down your big goals into achievable steps. And I'm going to show you how to do it in as little as 15 minutes. You might not know where to start. You might not know what to do, but I'm going to show you my exact strategy for how to do this. So first and foremost, make sure that you close Facebook, turn off your phone, get focused, because you don't want to miss the information that you're getting ready to learn about in this live cast, okay? Now, first, I want to just go over what today's goal is. Today's goal for you is, one, I want you to understand that productivity is actually easy. As long as you have certain habits, certain routines, it's easy for you to make progress and be productive. I'm going to show you how that all ties into what today's discussion is about. Two, how life rewards you once you really start taking action on that, not just thinking about it or pondering. And then three, make sure that you understand protecting your time is going to play a big part and a big key to this, especially when it comes to you not only breaking down your goal, but actually going out to accomplish your goal. Is really going to help out a lot. Okay, so my personal goal for today is to prove to you that productivity is the single most important factor to achieving your dreams. Period, hands down. If you want to make things happen, you got to be productive. But then also, you also have to have a system to help you be productive, not just doing a bunch of random things. So I'm going to show you a system that I use that I know that a lot of high performers use as well. Okay, and I got a little treat for you. I said if you stay on to the end, come on here, stay to the end, I'm gonna give you a treat. So basically what this is, it is the rapid achiever assessment. If you're not sure if you're a high performer, if you're not sure if the things that you're doing is right, if you're on the right path, if you're making momentum and doing good things, this rapid achiever assessment is going to help you with that. So you're gonna get that just for staying on and being on with us today. Okay, now who is this for? One, you might be in a place where you have a dream, you have a vision, you want to get to a certain place, but you don't necessarily know how to do it. Or you might be a person that you have too many priorities going on. It's like, okay, this is too much, so let me go on Facebook, let me go on Instagram, let me Snapchat, right? Let me check my email, let me check my messages. So, just sort of think, what would life be like if you no longer had to, rush to work, right? Because now you accomplished, now you're able to work on your dreams. Or what would it be like to, retire your spouse, maybe your husband or your wife? What would it be like if you're able to, pick your kids up from school and take them to school in the morning? Or you'll be able to go on that vacation that you want, sun on your face, sun on your back, feet wiggling your feet in the sand, right? How would that change your life? I just want you to imagine that, because that is the type of conversation that we're going to have today, and it's possible for you. But in order for it to be a reality, you got to make sure that you're doing the things that we're going to talk about today. Okay? 1 second. All right. Now, just to show you what I used to look like back in the day, which is horrible, right? What I used to look like back in the day is this is right here, right? I was the type of kid that straight out of New York, came from the hood, and I hated structure. It was hard for me to focus. I was just a kid that was just constantly on social media, chilling, smoking, doing everything that I wasn't supposed to do, right? But I didn't really notice my time was melting away. And the people that were in my life, even before I got to college, was, started getting locked up, started dying. And it was becoming too much for me. So luckily, I'm thankful that I went from me going from that environment to deciding that I want to go to college and graduate, and with my bachelor's degree with my mom on the left and my master's degree with my grandmother on the right, and just be able to do a few things like just with learning what you're literally about to learn today and being productive, being able to get thousands and thousands of views on YouTube, just 26 on that video, being able to meet, you know, the people of Congress and high level people who work for Obama, be able to, you know, get married, learning how to do these things, and being able to go to schools and meet some of the world's greatest motivational speakers and actors and actresses, and being able to not only sell a book, but be an author. I didn't really never really seen myself being an author before, right? So it's you know, but all of this is really possible and more for you. Whatever your dreams and goals are is really possible for you. But just for me learning these things and implementing what I'm getting ready to show you, it really made a big difference. So, you know, just so we get sort of get the introduction going, I just want to let you know that it's all right. It's okay to make sure to fall short on things. You know, we all fall short. The only thing is just stop beating yourself up because you think that, oh well, I'm not supposed to fail. I'm not supposed to fall short. When I want to get a goal, it's supposed to be a straight path there, right? But there's no straight paths to any goal. And anybody, I don't care, millionaire, billionaire, I don't care who you the happiest person in the world. I don't care if you the most athletic person in the world. It doesn't matter. Anything with anybody who's great, or everybody goes through things, you know. So don't live your life in regret. Don't live your life feeling like, you know, I can't make mistakes, because we all have something called the monkey brain, right? And I learned this from one of my mentors, Darren Hardy. He talks about the monkey brain. What the monkey brain is, right? We all think we have one brain, but we actually got three different brains. We have one brain that's called the monkey brain. That every time it sees a shiny object, anything that's new, anything that, you know, you know, that is the part of your brain that always needs stimulation. Anytime you feeling bored, you feeling restless, you know, anytime, you know, that's the thing that's the brain, that's the easiest part of the brain to attract and appeal to. You know, that's the one that always wants the fun. That's the one that's all emotional and all over the place, right? The two other brains are a little bit different. You got one which you call it the robotic brain, which is the part of the brain that it does all your, you know, sort of like your involuntary stuff, you know, beat your heart and things of that nature. But that's also the part of the brain that deals with habits. So good habits and bad habits. So if you have bad habits, you know, that's the part that's gonna keep it going. But if you have good habits, you turn it over to the robot brain. That's the brain that's gonna keep those good habits going. And then you have the sage brain, and the sage brain is what has you on this webinar right now. That's the part of yourself that wants to grow. That's the part of yourself that wants to learn. Because you're here, you know, your friends not here. There's a lot of other people that could be here with you, you know, but they're not. But why are you here? Because this is the part of the brain that says, you know what, I want to learn something. Even if it's just one thing, you know, even if it's something that could just change, you know, one little thing for me, one part to make my life better in one little way, I want to be able to learn it and get better. And that's why we're here. So, you know, one of the main things is making sure. So now that you know that, you also have to be smart enough to say, all of us to say, all right, well, we have people around us that's dragging us down, because we know for a fact, proven by science, that negative people are drag you down. You know, they will. And you know, and if you ever realize that, sometime when we all had it, you know, people growing up in our circle where it's confirmed that they are have a negative mindset, and it's confirmed that they drag you down. Not necessarily even doing it purposely, but you know, they not in support of what you have going on, not in support of your dreams and your goals. So those are the people that, you know, sometimes you have to sort of let go, or you have to spend less time with. So be around more people who wants to support you, support your dreams, and that's going to help you get there faster. So, you know, so I've gotten coaches in the past. I've, you know, been around part of accountability groups and all types of things to help me, you know, get to the level where I'm at. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I'm still growing. So, you know, hopefully I can be that facilitator for you. And if nowhere else, at least, you know, while we're on this live cast during this journey. Okay. So, you know, so I'm gonna take this journey with you. Okay. So just a little bit about me, if you're not super familiar. You know, I grew up in the hood. You know, I went from the hood to higher education. I was the type of kid that you saw earlier, that the type of kid that didn't really want to do anything. The type of kid who, you know, I hated procrastinating, but that I always procrastinated. I was that type of kid. I was the type of kid to where, you know, I always wanted different things, but I never really put in the work, the type of work that it took to get those things. So even while I was in school, I remember that I got a call from my mom, right? And you know, this is around the time I was tired of not keeping my word, tired of not doing things, right? And my mother gives me a call and she says, "Listen, I'm paying for your school. You grown now. Now it's time for you to pay for your own cell phone bill." And I remember thinking, like, what? Wait, I gotta pay for my own bills now. I gotta pay for my own cell phone now. If you're in college, you know that that can be a little difficult for you to pay that, right? You might have $100 bill, whatever the case is. That might be hard. It might be hard for you to do. So it was tough, and I remember me just stressing out like, how I'm gonna pay this, what I'm gonna do, and you know, it was a part of me that said that, you know, I have to make this happen. You know, I don't want to let my mom down. I don't want to let myself down. You know, I want to make sure that, you know, I can do this. I want to be able to show that I can stand on my own 2 feet. But you know, it was pretty tough. But I just remember having a friend, right, who said, "Hey, you know, you want to make some extra money?" He actually put me on to a network marketing opportunity. So, you know, little did I know, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna join the network marketing opportunity. But so I joined, but it wasn't exactly what I thought it was gonna be. So, you know, long story short, what they did, I was on the way back from a conference one day, and on this conference, I remember listening. I remember, and this is actually the the van that looked like the Mystery Machine, right? This is I remember, this is sort of the moment that changed it for me, because on this ride back from Oklahoma we came, and I remember that I was listening to a gentleman named Jim Rohn, and he was talking success in your ear and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, you know, just chilling, right? And then I remember hearing him say a quote that changed my perspective of my life forever, and that's the reason why you see me speaking in front of you today. He said, "We must all suffer of one of two things." He said, "Either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret." And I remember just getting chills down my spine. Like it literally shifted my entire belief. And it made me think, okay, I don't want to have that. I don't want to have the pain of regret, and not the pain of not doing what is, you know, what I know that I'm called to do in life. I would rather put myself through the pain of discipline while I'm putting it on myself to grow, to learn, and be better. And I said, in order for me to do that, you have to be productive. I can't continue procrastinating. I can't continue being lazy. I have to put in this work. And that's from that moment on, I knew that productivity was the key to everything that I wanted in life, because I never wanted to live with regret. And I know that you have to take action for anything to change in your life. So it was like, you ever had one of those light bulb moments where you just sort of like just glaze into space, right? Or I guess it's gaze, but you know, you stare into space and you like, yo, I don't believe what I just heard. We're like, what was I just listening to? So I had one of those moments, and from there I got back and said, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I pay for my cell phone bill. I'm going to be the best associate. But I ran into a few problems. We all know, once we have that, you know, we have that journey, we have that inclination, we have that vision to say this is what we want. It don't always go like that, right? So, you know, I faced everything that any, you know, entrepreneur faced on the journey: self-doubt, rejection, procrastinating, and making excuses. But it was too much for me, and I'm like, I couldn't realize, I couldn't understand how people face this type of rejection, and people hanging up the phone, and people not want to talk to you. It was just way too much for me. And so I said, you know what, I can't do it. And right when I was about to quit, I said, you know what, let me try this one last thing. So I tried this last Hail Mary pass, right? And I said, I'm going to try something wild. I'm going to try something I never tried before, right? And I said, what I'm going to try is, I'm going to try to actually pay attention to what these gurus are saying. I guess you can't go wrong, right? Like I just said, let me try to pay attention to what they're saying. So that's when I started hopping on the phones with the millionaires. They said you got to read the books. I'm reading the books, right? And I'm just doing what they say, going to the conferences, and it was at that point that I started making money on campus, and more importantly, I was making hundreds of dollars on campus. So I was happy at the fact I was paying my bill, but I made myself more proud because I finally kept my word. I made myself proud because, I got over, I really started to understand, okay, this is how you get over procrastination. This is how you start taking action. But more importantly, even than the money and myself, I'm happy that I was able to make my mom proud. She wanted to say, all right, this is, her stamp in the ground. Like, all right, you're grown now. You got to handle your own things. And although I wasn't really ready, I'm glad that I was able to make her proud because she told me to stand on my 2 feet and not so many words. So, you know, but it's not just me. Although that's just my story. It's not just me. I've been blessed enough to help other people, help other students, and this is just a small situation, but it makes a difference in people's lives. To where this gentleman named George, very busy guy on campus, but he wanted to join SGA, which is the Student Government Association. So he writes this to me: I really wanted to be involved in SGA, but didn't think I would have the time. All of the members on the student body was very understanding that I was too busy with school. But after going through this program, I started using a daily impact planner to write down my priorities and realized that I had free time to add to SGA into my schedule. So this guy, he used he went through a program that I have, and he used this tool that you'll learn about later called the daily impact planner to actually organize his life and realize, oh, I do have time in my schedule to do SGA. So he was excited that now he's able to do what he wanted. All right, now this is huge right here, because this goes from taking you from the old way of thinking to the new way of thinking. The way productivity used to be and how people used to talk about, all the gurus and all the people who or time management experts and all of that, they used to talk really in the 90s, right? 90s and beforehand. Productivity used to be time management. It used to be in being busy and getting things done and getting a bunch of activities done. But today, in this new century, it's totally different. It's not how it used to be back in the day. So I want you to completely erase any thoughts that you had of productivity, anything dealing with time management and being busy, because now we have something called technology. And this technology is really it has some good things to it, but it also could have some negative effects to it as well. And when it comes to you being able to focus and get things done, it can really hinder you, because now there's so many windows into your life, but that wasn't back in the day, back in the 90s and before then. Now we have all types of apps that that beat buzz and everything. You got Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. If you ever had GroupMe, you know exactly how annoying that could be sometimes. Every time somebody sends a message, you got emails coming through, you got FaceTimes coming through, you got text messages coming through, you got phone calls coming through. So many different things that can pull you away from your attention. You just sort of got to put your hands in your ears and say, I have to focus on this, because now if you can't manage your distractions, you're not going to be able to spend enough time on the things that's important to you. And I know this firsthand, because it was hard for me especially around the time when I first started writing my book, The Fastest Way to Win in College, to where I wasn't really getting as much done as I really wanted to with the book. And that was because I was trying to do a lot of my work during the day. During the day, I was getting all the phone calls and the emails, and I had to run the errands, and I had to, it was a lot of things going on during the day that pulled my attention, so I didn't make as much progress. But it wasn't until I said, all right, let me remove all the distractions, and what's the best time of the day in order to get things done we don't have no distractions? Early in the morning, right? For me, it was. So I said, all right, well, what I'm going to do is early this morning, or early every morning, I'm going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get up and I'm going to write and I'm going to get it done. And then that's what I did. And that's how I knocked the book out in just a few months. So it's really about knowing how to manage your distractions, all right? And that's all part of the bigger conversation that we're going to talk about today, which is how to break down your big goals into small achievable steps. All right, and I'm gonna show you how to do this in as little as 15 minutes. Okay, so this is gonna be fun. Now, the secret to really doing that is taking back control. Is actually it's taking back control of your life, and I want to show you this one powerful improving mental trigger in order to do that. And it's actually a formula that I wanted to show you on actually how to do that. Okay, and this formula is the SP squared formula. And this is actually a formula that I created. And this formula is this. All right. So how this formula came about is me just doing everything from research. So I've spent thousands, easily, 10 plus thousands, tens of at least over $10,000 within the past 2 years of flying out to conferences and getting hotels and staying in 3-4 nights, right? To be able to learn, going to buying online classes, spending thousands on that, doing everything from hiring mentors, millionaire mentors, to mentor me and talk to me over the phone. Everything from books. You should see my library that I have. Being able on videos, interviews, all of the time, the effort, and the money, and the thousands of dollars that I put in. And as I started looking at more things, I started noticing and saying, hold up, wait, there's some trends here. I'm like, hold on. Everybody who's accomplishing or doing great things and that's high and the highest performing in their life, they are doing something right. And I started looking at the trends and started connecting the dots. And then I realized, oh, everybody to not only be hot, not only to be successful, to get things done, to accomplish their goals, what they're doing is they're doing basically these things. And that's what this SP2 formula is. So what is it? What is that SP squared formula? So what is that? That is strategy, preparation, and productivity. I've noticed that all the world's highest performers are doing these three things hands down. So I'm going to show you what you can do at the end to make sure how all these play together so you can accomplish what you want. All right. So now we're going to break it down. First one, strategy. So when you're looking at first thing I've noticed, right, as I was looking, researching, studying, I noticed that they don't just jump into things, right? They always have a strategy first. When I was looking at the Floyd Mayweather fight and Conor McGregor hit Floyd Mayweather's last fight. And after, he ended up winning, and I remember looking at him doing an interview, and he was talking about how he knew that he was gonna win, almost like for a fact, he knew he was gonna win, and so that got me interested. How you so confident that you just know you're gonna win? And he said something that was, that I found interesting, but it correlated with everything else I've been learning, everything I've been researching, everything I've seen and heard over the past few years. And what he said is, yo, I had a strategy. He said, me and my dad, you could literally go on YouTube right now and watch this. He said, me and my dad, he said, we had a strategy, to win. We said that we knew that he was going to get tired in the later rounds. We thought it was going to be a little bit earlier, but the strategy was, let him, go crazy and throw all his punches and everything, because we knew he going to try to come out and take my head off and kill me. So you're gonna let him exert and do all of that early on. But then as the rounds get later and he starts getting tired, that's when I'm gonna really come out and I'm gonna hit him with the heavy shots. He didn't just now listen to the things that's said, but also listen to the things that's not said. He didn't say he was just gonna come out and just start hitting them. Hey, he didn't just say I just went out there and hope for the best. I just went out there to and was gonna land shots. I didn't. He had exactly the plan and the strategy that he wanted to win. And I noticed every time a successful person, I don't care if you're talking about a rapper, I don't care if you're talking about an athlete, I don't care if you're talking about one of the world's best entrepreneurs, I don't care what craft you're talking about. Before they do anything, they have a strategy before what they do. Because if not, you'll go out there, you'll do a bunch of random things, but you won't get the result that you want. So they always start off with the strategy. So okay, so what would that mean for you? That means to think about, okay, well, what's the best way to approach this situation depending on whatever your goal is. If your goal is to become a best-selling author, think about your strategy. Okay, how do I do that? First of all, you got to learn. Part of the strategy is learning. So I recommend you go out and learn, see what everybody else is doing. And okay, say, all right, well, these are basically the 5 things that I need to do in order to become a best-selling author. It might be, you know, it might be one, to finish the book. Every author, it sounds silly, but you have to do that. Every author finishes their book. It might be, second thing might be, okay, well, after that, I got to get an agent, right? Depending on if you want to self-publish or not. It might be, the next one might be, okay, well, I got to put together some kind of offer, because we know now selling books is, if you're looking to really make money, it's not really going to be through the sale of a book. It's going to be you offering something else on the back end. And this is not really about books, but I want to give you the mindset of how they think, right? So you might say, okay, let me add a course on back of it, on back of this. So let me add, maybe some CDs that I, of some interviews or something that I did, or something I'm talking about. So whatever the case is, you're going to add something extra on top of that, okay? And just think through whatever your 5 things are. So if you don't know, your first task right now, hopefully you're taking notes, your first task is to go out and figure out, what is the strategy that I need to do, right? It might be, okay, well, I got to build an audience because I need people to buy my stuff, right? How do I build an audience? So those are the type of things that you need to be thinking about. Also, that's a part of strategy. You want to be looking at, and these things don't have to take too long. You can literally do all this in 15 minutes, and I'll explain how you can do it at the end when I bring everything together. But think about your support. What kind of support you're going to need? You may need, okay, well, if you want to, you might need the support of maybe a literary agent, and somebody to come through and look over the words, make sure there's no grammar, and make sure there's grammar, and make sure the flow of the book is good, right? You might need somebody to support you as far as you want to build an audience. You might need to talk to somebody so they can promote you to their Instagram followers, so they can promote you to their email list. You might need the support of people so they can put you on the radio if you want to do that, right? So who you gonna need? So what's the strategy? Who's gonna need to support you? Now, if we're going back up to the strategy, let's say you got those 5 things on whatever that goal is. Now is really time to start breaking those down into steps that you can do, right? So if it's write the book, obviously you can't look at write the book as one. You're not about to do that in one day, right? So you got to make sure that you break those down into things that you can achieve on a daily basis. So what does that look like? That looks like, okay, well, I want to write a 300-page book. If I write 10 pages a day, okay, well, I can probably finish this book in maybe a month, right? So, or it might be like, well, I'm gonna do 1 page a day. So then you'll you work it out that way. No matter how you do it do it to where it can be achievable for you. So no matter what the goal is, it could be the biggest goal in the world, but you could always chunk it down. Start off with the big goal, then chunk it down into what your 5 major moves are, which I got that from one of my other mentors, Brendan Burchard. I just love that concept, because you could pretty much break everything down into 5 to 7 steps. So break it down into the 5-7 steps or milestones. And then within each one of those milestones, you're going to have a bunch of little activities. It could be 10, 20, 50, 60, 100 different little steps, and that can just be from one milestone. So you got to make sure you list those out, and then those little steps are the things that you take out and you put on your calendar for next Tuesday. You put in your calendar for Saturday morning. You put in your calendar for Monday afternoon during lunch. You get what I'm saying? So that's how you start to break it down, and then as time goes on, you start checking them off, checking them off, checking them off, checking them off. Next thing you know, boom, book is finished. Next thing you know, you build your audience. Next thing you know, you got your offer made. So that is how you need to start thinking about your goals and being strategic, and also who is gonna help you do that as well. Okay, so that's basically what you want to do for strategy. Then when we're looking at preparation, once you have the strategy, you know what you need to do, you know the steps. Now you're looking at preparation. How do I actually prepare to do these things, right? So if you take it back to, the book, how do I prepare to do this? Okay, well, I have the book. Now let me start actually preparing it, because the strategy is thinking about it. Preparation is actually calling to make things set up, because remember, your big goal is to become a, you know, New York Times bestseller, right? So okay, so how do I prepare for this? Okay, so well, let me actually make sure I set up a time. Let me actually call my you know, my literary agent. Let me actually, you know, let me actually make sure that, you know, I get my laptop or I get the book to actually do it, right? So basically strategy is really more thinking about it, more, you know, sort of brainstorming and putting things together. Preparation is actually going out and getting the materials, actually preparing yourself. If you have, you know, if you're an athlete, before you get on that field, it's actually preparing. Okay, how do I prepare myself? How do I train? How do I work out? You know, what materials do I need to get for this, right? And it's actually starting to put things together. If you're a cook, you know, you got the strategy of how you're going to cook it, but you still need to go out. You still need to go out and get the materials. So that's how you got to think about it. So that's what really preparation is. So I noticed that, okay, they're also preparing too. So they come up with the strategy, but then they're actually doing the things before they do the actual real thing, right? So they actually prepare. They get things ready. You know, they let the meat season, you know, in the fridge before they put it in the oven. You know what I'm saying? They go out and, you know, they get all the materials for the event before the big show, right? Before the big, you know, before the wedding. They set everything up, you know. So that is what that means. Okay, so that's preparation. Okay, and then when we're looking at productivity is you actually going out and doing the actual things, but not just going out and doing it, but make sure that you're doing the right thing, because you're only being productive. The definition of productivity is you being able to get a significant result towards a desired outcome, so, you know, towards a desired goal. So how do you get that significant result towards that desired goal? Well, you got to be doing the right things. But you actually have to, one, you got to actually make sure you're going out and doing things, because if you feel overwhelmed, you're not going to do anything, right? If you feel like, you know, it's too big and it's in, you know, you can't do it because it's too much, so the dream is too big, then you're also not going to do it because you don't know. You haven't worked backwards and said, okay, this is what I have to do tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? This is what I have. This is the one little thing I have to do. All I have to do is make a phone call. All I have to do is write a page. You know, all I have to do is, you know, is go to the gym, whatever the case is, right? But it's actually you doing something. And you know, even for me, I remember when I first started saying, okay, let me actually put my name, stamp my name in the ground, and say, you know, uh, uh, I am gonna put my hat down, right, and say, all right, this is me. I'm actually gonna be an expert. So I actually got a course called Experts Academy. If you're familiar with Brendan Burchard, then you would know. And I got this course, and when I bought the course, he sent me a whole bunch of things in the mail, right? So he sent me, you know, I'm telling you, I got books and stuff. I got workbooks. I got CDs for my car, listen to my car. I got CDs. Then I got, you know, DVDs, everything. And you know, it was good. It was a lot of information, but, you know, maybe 30 plus hours of stuff. But I remember just looking through the books, workbooks, CDs, reading it back. It was throwing me off because I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't really even know where to start, and I got so overwhelmed that I couldn't even be productive enough to watch it, to actually implement the things that he was talking about. And that's one of the reasons why I break things down so much and I make it so simple for you, because I don't ever want you to either watch something I have or take a course that I have or be a part of a training that I'm doing, and then you feel like you're learning so much, you feel like it's too complicated that you're just not going to do anything, or you're just going to walk away and say, you know what, Terrell, these are some good ideas. I like it. But you know, but you don't take any action on it. So, you know, so for me, you know, I went through it. It was a lot of stuff, but I never took action on it because I felt overwhelmed. So I was never productive in actually getting anything done. Although I had the strategy, I knew what I wanted to do. I prepared for it. I actually called. I actually went online. I bought it, came there, I put in the DVDs. I had the workbook out, but I was never actually productive from translating any the things that I did learn into action before I even got a little win and and got confidence and said, okay, I can come back and let me do more. What I should have done is just start with one little piece, maybe 1, 2 videos, implement those things, see a little win, get confident and then come back. We all know about the confidence loop, right? The more confident you get, the more competent you get. The more competent you get, then the more confidence you get, and that's the loop. And that's what I should have went through. But this is the formula. This is what I've seen. So make sure that if there's any time you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't know what to do, or you have a big goal, but you just you sort of don't know the framework around it or what to do, then put in this SP2 formula. So you have a dream, you have a goal. Say, okay, this is what I want to accomplish. I want the next thing in your mind to think about is SP squared formula. Okay, I want to accomplish this project, SP squared formula. I want to do this. I want to accomplish this vision or this goal or this task, SP2 formula. Because that's going to automatically get you smart. That's automatically going to say, okay, oh, all right, before I do anything, right? Because we have a lot of people who are fast action takers, and they'll go out and just do a bunch of things, but realize they're doing the wrong thing, or it's not the best use of their time. So step back and say, okay, let me first take a chill pill. Let me relax. Let me relax myself, right? And then let me go ahead and think of the strategy first. Okay, what's the strategy? All right, do I know the strategy? Cool. All right, do I not know the strategy? Okay, let me go find the strategy somewhere. Then you prepare, and then you be productive. All right, so SP squared formula, the most powerful thing you're going to learn, because it's going to help you accomplish all of your goals. All right, so now this is one of my favorite quotes by Kobe Bryant. He says, I focus only on one thing and one thing only, and that's trying to win as many championships as I can. And I love it so much, and this is my favorite player, but I love it because he has one focus, and he said he's focused on winning as many championships as he can. And my question to you, right, if that's true, and that's what he does, and he's in the Hall of Fame, let me ask you this question. Are you focused on winning the championships in your life? Are you really focused on winning those in your life? Do you even know what they are? And if you do, are you focused? And that's the only thing you're focused on to win. I want you to think about that. This is one of the world's greatest telling you that. Okay? Now, this is a sort of funny story, but I think it'll help bring this full circle too, because this is when I used to think being busy was being productive yet again. This is, a story when I had me just doing overlearning, just learning too much, right? This is so again back in the early days when I was just doing a lot with my book and author, and I was just I was doing some things, but I really wasn't doing the right things, and I was spending a lot more time just learning and thinking and trying to make things happen. And I remember talking to a coach one day, and she said, okay, Terrell, so what's the problems, what's going on? And I'm saying, I'm not really putting out videos like I want, because I'm afraid people are going to judge me. My videos are not going to be right. I don't think people are going to like it enough to want to be interested and pay for what I have. And she's listening, and she said, you know what, okay. She said, but what you really are is you're a scared child. That caught me by surprise. Whoa, how you gonna say that to me? Like I'm here, like I'm like paying you. How are you just gonna say that? And she said the reason I'm saying that is because you're really trying to act like a perfectionist. And that just made me think, like, wow, try to act like a perfectionist. She said, yeah, because you are afraid to put your stuff out in the world because it's not going to be perfect, because you don't think people are going to like it. You don't think people are going to invest in you. You think people are going to make fun of you, right? And I did. That's how I felt. Where I came from, people wasn't doing this. People wasn't out here writing books. People are out here giving motivation like this, right? Where I'm from, people get shot, fight, killed, gangs, all that type of stuff. So it's like, for me to want to do that and be around that all my life, it automatically put me off, like, I don't think people's going to be interested in this, right? So I wasn't confident in myself. And she said, you are trying to be a perfectionist. And let me ask you a question. Can anything be worse? Can you get any worse reaction than what you're getting right now? I thought about it. What she mean by that? And I said, well, no, because, my stuff is not out. She said, exactly. Do you think that you would get a better response even if you put it out? Even if it's not the best? Even if there was a little something that you put out and you figured out you could change it and you can make it a little better? Even if it went out, do you think you'll get a better response from it being out than you not putting it out? And I said, of course. She said, exactly. So put your stuff out in the world, and if you get feedback, get the feedback, make your adjustments, take it, and then bring it back out, and then do it again, and continue reiterating it and making it better. Because as long as you think you're just gonna keep it to yourself, keep that your baby to yourself, keep that product to yourself, or you whatever you're trying to do, you're not gonna go out and you're not gonna either pursue that girl or that guy, or pursue that job, or pursue that business, pursue that client, pursue that health goal, because you always just preparing, you're always learning, and you just keep going through that cycle. Then you're never going to make anything happen. Go out there, try it. If it doesn't work or you get some feedback, then take it, reiterate it, and do it again. So I got that, and it just blew my mind. Like, wow, all right, I have to take action on things. So that was my life lesson, and really what I got out of it was, productivity is really easy. As long as you focus, as long as you putting yourself out there, and you got habits and routines, that you do and you don't break, you continuously move forward. Once you start breaking it, you start sliding back, because we all know that entropy, it naturally happens if you're not constantly pushing yourself, making yourself move forward. All right. So what does this look like when you start putting all this stuff into play? And I hope this is making sense. I hope this makes sense for you. I really hope that you're getting it, because it's important. Okay. Now, what does this look like when you start putting all this into play? Well, you'll actually start accomplishing what your big goals are again. You start getting the things that you want. You start being able to travel. You start being able to, now that you have a plan, it's like, and you know how to remove distractions. You know how to create winning habits. You're gonna start really seeing your life change. But what's the most important that I think is you're gonna start becoming a role model, and the people around you is actually going to start being influenced by you, and they're going to start looking up to you, and you're going to not only make yourself proud, but you're going to make your family proud as well. So is this good? Hopefully it's good. Hopefully you're seeing the value. You're starting to see, okay, how this can play in your life. So hopefully you like that, and if you do, just give me the virtual thumbs up. All right. So what's next? What does this actually look like? Now, let me ask you a question. Are you excited about everything we covered right now? Now, you may feel a little bit overwhelmed because we covered so much. So I'm likely to think that you feel like this right now. And because this could literally be a fire hose. It is, because it's a lot of information. I'm trying to teach you as much as I can, with between 30 minutes and an hour. And but it can be so much. So what I've decided to do, is it okay if I share something with you? Okay. So if it is, I'm just going to share with you what I have, and it's up to you whether you want to take a deeper dive into this stuff, but I'm going to let you know what I have, and then you can make the decision on yourself if you're ready to start implementing these practices, learn a little bit more, and then start really learning how to dive deep into this, so you can start making exponential progress, okay, and being productive. So what it is I have 6 weeks of training. And each week is going to cover a different topic of productivity. We're going to look at your mindset. We're going to look at your energy. We're going to look at the actual productivity habits. You're going to hit goal. You're going to hit obstacles along the way. So how do you push through those? And then also some group coaching calls. Okay, so week 1 is really talking about mindset mastery. So that's where you're going to learn about success. That you're going to learn about how to discover your purpose. Okay, week 2 we'll go over how you master your mind. We're going to be going over your schedule, but this is just still high level, but it's starting to strategize your mind. You're getting your mindset right. Okay, so that's more, you're looking at strategy type stuff. Now, energy boosters. What can I do to start preparing myself for the day, make sure my energy is good when I go out, I'm not tired, because we all know when you're tired, you don't feel like doing anything. All right, so we'll dive into energy rejuvenation in week 3. Then in week 4, which is where the rubber hits the road, we start being productive. This is unbreakable personal productivity. So we're doing everything from how do you specifically learn how to achieve any project. What do you have to do on a daily basis to set goals? How do you use and take advantage of the daily impact plan that we heard about earlier? Things of that nature, okay? And then week 5, by the time we hit week 5, then we're going to be looking at, okay, overcoming obstacles, overcoming procrastination. How do you overcome negative thoughts? Okay, and then group 6 is the coaching calls. Okay, each call as so these coaching calls are me group coaching a group of people, group of students who went through the program. They're going to be asking questions, and it's also going to be me of the latest things that I've been learning, the latest learnings. How do you put that? How do you start? What are they? How do you put that into place? So the latest, hottest things that I've learned that I'm seeing out there on productivity, I don't care if it's neuroscience, health, anything, I could give you that little bit of edge. That I'm gonna give you. So that's what I've been doing in this group coaching course. But I give you that completely as a part of the group program in week 6, and it's been a blessing to people because for one, Amani, she wrote this. She wrote, "I've been wanting to get into the social work for years, for the past 5 years since my college graduation, but I've been stuck in retail and there's been so many distractions. After your coaching, I've been able to remove most of my distractions, social media, Netflix, right? Because she yeah, because she had How to Get Away with Murder pretty bad, and what is it called? Scandal. That was hers, right? So she said I removed that, and then started to focus on applying for jobs, and now I have a ton of interviews, and I'm hopeful that I'll be hired soon. So this. It don't always have to be the most groundbreaking things, but the little things add up. You started doing better in one little area of life, then now you start doing better in another area because it's like a domino effect. So you're gonna start getting better at these things. Okay. Now let me say this. Let me remind you who this program works for, okay? If you might be an entrepreneur, you might already be successful, you're looking to prioritize, or you might have a vision and you want to accomplish it, or you might be looking to be promoted if you're in corporate America. You might be trying to lose weight. But really, if you have an idea or a dream or a goal that you want to accomplish, but you've been struggling with it for a while and you don't understand why you're just not breaking through, it's a lot of the concepts that we talk about in this program that's holding you back. So that is what specifically I focus on. So this is a comprehensive view of everything that I've learned, the common thread between everybody. And I took all that knowledge and then I put it into this program, okay? So specifically what you're going to get today, okay? So in this, I'm going to tell you everything that you are going to get. One, you're going to get the 6 weeks more masterclass, right? But I said, what else can I do? So I said, all right, I'm going to give you the daily impact planning because as you're going through this, you need to be able to organize. You need to be able to prioritize your day. That's one, first and foremost, all right? So all you're gonna need to do is just fill this out every morning. So it's going to talk about your projects, who you need to reach out to, your priorities, and that's going to be your roadmap for the day. Now I hear it already. All right, Terrell, well, how am I actually going to put this into practice? How am I actually going to do this? This is actually taking up more time. And, it'll feel like it at first because now you spend an extra 5-10 minutes filling this out. But it's an extra 5 to 10 minutes to fill it out because that's gonna end up saving you more time in the long run. Because without filling it out, what's gonna happen is end up you're going to end up with busy work. You're going to end up doing random activities throughout the day. You're going to end up stressed, and you're going to end up your goal is going to get further and further away from you, as opposed to helping you stay focused, and it's going to help you with a whole bunch of other different things that is just going to come from you staying focused on what your goal is. And it's done great things for me. It's helped me get certifications in my career. It helped me free up time so I could do things, help me travel. It's been a blessing for me to be able to save hours of wasted time had I not used this daily impact planner. And I'm gonna give that to you today. All right, so that's your number one bonus. All right, so it's 1,094, right? This is the value, but I've been thinking, okay, so what else you're gonna need? So you have a plan, you have a roadmap that you can use, right? And I said, what else? What else is gonna be good? And I said, what would be good is giving you an online course, a bonus online course that talks about the habits of powerful people, right? And the great thing about this is now this is going to be a course of what are the main habits that you need to learn about, and it's that they do, that most powerful people do, because you can learn how to be productive, but if you don't actually know the habits that you need to implement, it can still hurt you, because you can know what to do, but if it's still hard for you to get up in the morning, if it's still hard for you to do certain things, if it's not automatic, you'll do it sometime, but you won't do it all the time or most of the time. So it's important to build those winning habits, and it's going to help shift the mindset. It's going to help you get massive progress on your goals. Okay, so so don't ever think that you can't do it, because I can hear you say, okay, well, this is what the world's most powerful people do. They used to it, they can do it, but I can't do it. And the question is, you can do it. That you can do it. Majority of people they wasn't born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They had to learn how to do it. I remember, just my dad telling me, and I always remember this, where we were walking. I was a little kid, and he said, look up there. You see that plane? I said, yeah. He said, inside that plane is a pilot, and he learned how to fly that plane. And whatever that he could do, you can do. So don't think that any human is above you and that they can do something and you can't do it, okay? Because you can. So that's the second bonus. You get in the Habits of the Powerful People course. I said, okay, well, what else can you do? You got the habits, you got the daily impact planner. So I said, all right, let's give you free lifetime access to my upcoming membership program. So in 2020, I'm going to be doing an upcoming membership program. And this membership program is going to be each and every month. We're going to go through, we're going to talk about a different topic. I'm going to talk about what I'm learning. I'm going to talk about, who I met with. I'm going to talk about the private conversations. And I'm going to take that advice. I'm going to tell you what you need to learn, and it's going to keep your motivation ongoing, because we know that you'll learn. Maybe after this you'll be excited, maybe after the course you'll be excited, but month after month. And this is, by the way, this is never going to be like this again as far as lifetime access for free, because I'm charging for this program next year. But because you're here right now and I'm sort of just starting this up, I'm going to give you lifetime access for it, but it's definitely not going to be that when it launches next year. So, this is going to be good, because each and every month you're going to come back. As long as I'm breathing, I'm doing this, right? So each and every month we're going to come back each month after month, and you'll be able to get on the phone call. You'll be able to ask me questions. You'll be able to say, hey, Terrell, these are my goals. This is basically having me mentor you every month. That's really what this is. This is having me coach you for free every single month forever. So this is fun, okay? And the great part is going to keep you motivated. So you're not going to have no more excuses, and it's going to change your mind, all right, and your mindset and beliefs. All right, so that's number 3. Now let me ask you a question. Now you have the 6 weeks, you have the daily impact planner, you have the habits of the most powerful people course, and you have the lifetime monthly access. That is completely everything that you need. So let me ask you this question, because obviously I'm not going to charge you the $18.57, right? So, but let me ask you this question. If I did charge you the $18.57 and all it did was help you start taking more action every day, think about that. It helped you do the things that you're supposed to do, personal and professionally. You're supposed to go to the gym. You're supposed to do those things in your business and write that email. You're supposed to do these things at work. You're supposed to talk to these people. What if you actually started doing the things that you knew you're supposed to do? Would it be worth it? What if you started being able to be more productive, and now you got more time with your family because you're not wasting time? Would it be worth it? What if you have more time to travel? What if you save money? So there's a bunch of different benefits. I could list many benefits here once you actually start doing the things that you should be doing. Okay? Now, as I created this, I was thinking about a few things. I said, okay, well, I have 2 choices. I can either go cheap, or I can I can make the investment higher, but and dedicate more time and resources. So I said, I don't just want to make some cheap thing and give it to you. I said, well, let me invest a little bit more time, resources, put some bonuses together for you to actually make you, to actually sweeten a pot for you, so to speak, because this took me 9-10 years of learning. This took me hours and hours of interviews. It took me hours and hours and thousands of dollars for courses and traveling and seminars and all types of stuff, all right? So that's what's in this program. So I said I'll dedicate a little bit more to give you something that's quality, because that's what I'm about, okay? Now, let me ask you this. Now, if you're productive today and you started making money, How much would you pay if you had one profitable month of business? Because you know what you need to do, and we all, I have sort of like a theory. I know we all really got a good idea of what we should be doing in our business. So if you had one profitable month, what would it do? Or let's turn it around. What if you was just able to quit your job? Forget making profit. You just want to be able to quit your job one day so you could take care of your family, your kids, your wife, or your husband. What would that mean to you? Okay? So this is everything that you're getting. Again, you're gonna get the masterclass 6 weeks. You're gonna get the daily impact plan, the habits of the most powerful people, and you're gonna get the lifetime monthly access for $18.57. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna charge you $18.57. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you 84% off, and this is bananas. I'm definitely got to go up on this, right? I've already been told I have to go up on this price. 84% off. So today you're only gonna pay a one-time special offer of $2.99. That's it. $2.99. You're gonna get access to everything we just talked about today. Now, first thing that pops in, oh, $2.99, that's still too expensive, right? But let me ask you this. How much is it really gonna cost you? And I'm not even just talking about money, right? What is it really going to cost you to have to continue keep spinning your wheels, continue to keep spending time on things, time after time again, trying to learn, trying to get more books, trying to take other programs. This is everything. This is the comprehensive program. I've learned from everybody already. So you don't have to keep going to one program here, one program here, one program here. I'm the person who learned from all the top programs, all the top gurus. I don't care if the Tony Robbins, the Brendan Bashar, I'm telling you, I've learned from everybody. I know all the productivity strategies, and I'm telling you, the world's best. I don't care the power of one, the power of habit, all the books. I've read it all, I've learned it all, and I've taken everything, and I've made sense with it and put it into this program. And if you don't have the money, understand that it's going to cost you a lot more. It's going to cost you a lot more. It's costing you in time. It's going to cost you in your relationships because now you got to spend more time. It's going to cost you in stress. I remember reading an article the other day, and it said that Americans spend $529 a year on wasted food. That means you have food, maybe you didn't finish it, you threw it away. $529 on average. They lose an average $400 a year on gambling, scratch-off tickets, right? So we're just throwing money away is what I'm telling you. Think we don't have money, but we throw so much money away. 1% of all Americans, not all Americans, but of average Americans' income, 1% of their income, no matter how much they make, is on alcohol. We spend a lot of money. $15 to $20 we spend on cable. And on average, the average coffee buyer spends $1,092 on coffee a year. None of those things, which is an investment in you. All those things is you're pushing out, you're just being consumer based. With this program, you're putting out money, but you're investing in yourself because you're learning how to be better. Okay, so you have two choices. You can either do nothing with the info you learn, or you can take the leap. And good thing is, if you take the leap, you get a 30-day money back guarantee, which is good. So you can try it for free. If you don't like it, I don't ask any questions. You get your money back. Okay. And the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes just to see, or a few days just to sort of check out the program and see it? And listen, I don't care if you take 3-4 weeks of it and just say, you know what, I don't want it. I don't care if you do that. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna learn something. But I know that you're gonna see the value so much that you're gonna want to stay. You're gonna want to stay with me every month. You're gonna want to stay for the calls. You're gonna want to stay for just the environment of people who are there, of people trying to get better. Okay. So this is everything that you're gonna get. Again, daily impact planner, 6 weeks, habits, lifetime monthly value. But I wanted to give you one more thing, because I was saying, what was really one more thing? And I wanted to give you a live experience. So this is something I've never done before. I have I'm giving you 2 tuition waivers to a live workshop. And this live workshop is the More Productive Days Live. And what it is it's going to be supplementary to the online course, where we're going to really break it down. We're really going to get you hands-on into breaking down what your goals are and how you're going to achieve those. So it's going to be real fun. And great part about this in general is just the fact that once you start learning how to be more productive, you're gonna be a better person. It's just it is what it is. You're gonna be a good person, do good things in the world. You're gonna help more people. You're gonna help your family, and then not only you're gonna help them, but they're gonna see you, and then they're gonna be more productive. You're gonna help your kids. It's gonna be the same thing. You're gonna start developing great relationships, wife, husband, friends, families. It's just proven. Being productive in life is proven to improve your life and make your relationships better. Okay, so in total, all this would typically be about 2,300, but today you're only gonna pay $299. Okay, so even if you're thinking right now, so click first of all, click the button below, and you'll be able to get access to this program right now before it goes up, because I'm definitely raising the price on this. But you might be thinking, okay, well, Terrell, I'm already pretty productive. Well, even if you're productive, imagine you're not thinking about how many other ways that you're probably wasting time. Whether it's looking through your phone or not, whether it's whether it's feeling like whether you might be looking at the news too much, whether it's you standing in line but you're not using those pockets of time, is what I call it. So there's always ways you can improve. Or you might be the type of person that says, "Well, I'm not on my phone all the time," right? Well, there's other ways that you so you might be watching too much TV, or there's other ways that you might be that might be hurting you as well. So no, don't always think that you know so much. Even if it's just one little thing, like, oh, I didn't know that. Even if it's just one little thing, would it be worth it if you applied it and it made a difference in your life? All right. So go ahead and click the button below. I thank you for being here today, and continue to make each and every day more productive. Talk to you soon.